torn, thinking about this world late that I belong. Truth is so deluded, and it drives me crazy. I belong. This lost world is so hopeless. Babylon. Jesus Christ, that's where hope is. Babylon. No matter what they say, it's still so lost.
Today I've been thinking about the providence of God and some of the ways that we talk about the providence of God when it comes to abortion and our strategy and how we fight against the evil in this culture that hates God and loves death. When we talk about providence, what we're talking about is the way that God governs all of his creation, the way he directs it, the way that he controls all of its movement from the point of creation all the way to its end, to which it was created for. And a lot of times when we're arguing about strategy and about how we should handle various things in our fight, we make this accusation against the opposing side that they do not trust in the providence of God, but they're trusting in Egypt, in chariots and horses and such. And sometimes that's true. But oftentimes when we use this argument, what we're doing is we're acting like Gnostics. And I think this is a problem. And I think that when we do this, we are pitting the spiritual against the material. And that's false. God ordains not only the ends, but the means by which those ends are achieved. His providence extends to the physical means by which things happen. He controls to the infinitesimal degree all of the actions, all of the things that happen in history. And sometimes we forget this. Sometimes we act as if we are a farmer that says, I trust in the providence of God, and then does absolutely nothing and is shocked when he has no harvest. Or even worse, says it's okay that he has no harvest because he's trusting in God's providence. When the truth is, to really trust in God's providence, that farmer will plow the soil, will plant the seed, will water, and trust that God is the one that gives the increase. Frederick Douglass said it like this. He said he prayed for freedom for 20 years, and God gave no answer until he put feet to his prayer. Trusting in the providence of God requires us to trust in the righteous and just means by which God has given to us to accomplish whatever good end he has given for us. It doesn't mean that we just sit back and do nothing. It doesn't mean that if we take action, righteous and just action, that we are trusting in chariots or Egypt or horses. When we say that someone is trusting in Egypt or in horses and chariots, what we are saying is that they are trusting in means apart from what God has said. That they are trusting in the wisdom of the world, the means that God has not prescribed. That they are trusting in the pragmatic means that the world says works. So I would like to encourage us that when we trust in the providence of God, that it is that trust that pushes us to action, that pushes us to do that which God has commanded, and that our action is biblical. That we don't act like the Gnostics, thinking that the physical means by which we do stuff is bad of itself, and that we only pray and do nothing, and that is trusting in God's providence. No, when we talk about trusting in the providence of God, we mean that we are faithful in our obedience, but that we are trusting in God for the results. That regardless of what the human outcome of any situation is, we trust that we have been faithful to the commands of God. Trusting in God's providence does not mean that we are unwilling to put in work, but rather it means we trust in the work that God has commanded us to do. I hope you have found this video encouraging and helpful. Leave me any comments down there in the comments section, and I will come back to you with some more of my thoughts later.